Hello and welcome back to episode 24, I believe, question mark, of our Timberborn Folktails Cliffside playthrough, where we are working on expanding our tree farm and getting more bots. All right, without further ado, let's get started. We need to figure out how we're going to do scaffolding. And if there is possibly a better place for this pylon, because I want to delete all of this scaffolding up here. I don't think we can put an overhang up here. Oh, we can. Okay, now that this is at the maximum height, this might be the way to go. Too steep, it says. Oh, that is quite high, I guess. And then it'd probably be, again, too steep going that way. Yep, okay. What if... Well, if we just build some platforms fairly high up here, but not quite all the way up there. Like, place these ladders with platforms right there. And then we did an overhang. What does that look like? Okay, that one can't reach it. What if instead of just doing platforms, we then did an overhang and then a beam? Too many connections. Okay, but that's not a huge problem. Too steep. Okay, so that's too high up right now. What if over there we have it pointing that way? Too many connections, but okay. So that could work. So if we say, well, and then could this just go, instead of going here, it could go to the, okay, first let's work on actually building that before we get too far ahead of ourselves. So we can, this is really high up. Let's actually go one level lower. Make it 2 just to be on the safe side. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to build a path up there, though. Nope. So, one lower than that. So if this is just a one platform. Something like that. I believe should be able to get it done. And then we can get rid of this stuff and yeah, just connect directly to that. In fact, we might not even need this actual zip line over here anymore, to be honest. It's not much reason for them to go up there once we replace this scaffolding. In fact, none. Interesting. I do think I'm going to go a little bit lower with this yet, so that we have room to go out this way with it. Because remember, dirt can't go nearly that high, so we don't need this to be super high. I think do we want it at that level? Maybe make that a double. I like that height. I think. I apologize for switching this up numerous times here. Oh, that is too short. Sorry for pausing it too. Just double check. Okay, that's the right height. All right. That scaffolding should be sufficient. And absolutely all of our logs are being made into planks instantaneously, which isn't quite ideal because some of them I think we need to keep as logs, don't we? Does that mean we need to pause some lumber mills? Quite possibly. I'm curious. Is the observatory able to have bots in it? It is. Now it's unlocked. That's what somebody was hinting at that we didn't have. You know, I'm actually going to rebuild that right there. And have some bots, do some research. It's interesting that the observatory can be used by bots, but not the inventor huts. I'm going to have some beaver bots do some research to get us back up to 100,000 research science. Why? Because I want to. Somebody, they had also said that we didn't have them in the fluid dumps. That is now corrected. Oh, well, that builder hut could be all bots too. Lots and lots of building needs water. Are we going dry? We did pump an awful lot this time with this extra pump. So let's pause that, I guess. We went a little dry. We got a day left in this drought, though. Yeah, really? We don't... We're going to be deleting this scaffolding? You'll still need a way to climb down here to build the first zipline station. So we're not done with this area quite yet. But we can delete the scaffolding. A good chunk of it anyway. And get a lot of materials back for it. And then this can be deleted as soon as this is done. You got stranded? You're still stranded over there? Oh, man. Stranded up there? Life's rough, isn't it? You'll be free. Wait, that's a bot even that's stranded. That's not as sad. You just need some biofuel and catalysts and such. Wait a minute. How fast are the beavers themselves? Only 50% move speed. Okay. Bots are faster. I was pretty sure. All right. This is almost done here. The resources from destroying that stuff definitely helped us complete the other projects. Just got to build this last zipline beam here. Okay, so now We can delete that and add connections here and there. Now I'm pretty sure we're just done with all of this scaffolding, actually. As soon as the bots get off of it, and I think the only reason they were up there was to help collect some of this stuff. Okay. That went pretty well. Let's see. This is supposed to be a pillar. And so it shall be. Can't build on this side quite yet, actually. Now, there's supposed to be a pillar here as well, I believe. Yep, that should be a pillar. So we can go ahead and mark that for deletion. And as before, let's go one higher than what we need to mark where the pillar actually is supposed to be. There's supposed to be another pillar over here. I think there is, right there. If we want to go over that far, but which I don't see why we wouldn't want to go over that far. Bad tide has ended. So let's get that clean water flowing here. These aren't going to open until the contamination is down, and it is. Okay. Wait, why aren't they flowing? There it goes. I'm going to flow out there right away. And we're going to be doing well. All right, where was that pillar? There it is. All right, so let's get working on this scaffolding, huh? So we're going to go right there, all the way across. And that's far enough, okay. So then this will just need a ladder. And stairs across here. Okay. And then we need to go 3 spaces. Okay, well, we can delete that. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Too high. Okay. Well, that just means delete that, delete that, delete those. All right. Now the problem is going to be going further than that. Let's just pause this because that might still be too high because we need to go further out this way and to be able to go far out here. So let's actually lower this scaffolding before we get too ahead of ourselves. Let's lower it 2. Beavers are stranded? Well, now how did you get over there? And how did I delete that levee? Okay, okay. We got problems, but we have solutions, question mark? I got a little delete happy. It happened on the Iron Teeth video too. Got to be more careful. Good news is I think they should be able to rebuild that fairly quickly. So this is actually the level we're going to want our scaffolding to start. One more. Okay, and then this one goes this way. One, two, three, right there. We're saving those beavers as fast as we can over there. It's just going to take a minute. I can't put paths there. So, I was wrong again. Imagine that. And I do want to build one more over this way so we can build here, over to here. So, with that, this is too high already. Building one more is going to make it one even higher. So we need to go down two lower than that to build this scaffolding in this method. So carefully delete just this. And then delete this, and it just needs to be a single platform. Hopefully we still get above all the zip lines and stuff. It looks like we're good there. Okay. Third time is the charm, guys, or so I'm told. This is all in the name of expanding our tree farm. Okay. Now we just need a few other pieces. And this should be the last scaffolding we need for this tree farm because it is at the top and it should get us as far as terrain can be built. Just a lot of path to put on here. For sure. Okay, so this is probably the furthest path from our settlement. And it won't tell me how far it is away until all the ladders and stuff are built there. Okay. But that scaffolding should do us. And then this whole basically section can be devoted to tree farms. We're still at 0 logs, guys. Our planks are crashing. Our paper is starting to go down. Treated planks are going down. Catalyst is going down. Yeah. The joys of trying to keep the bots happy. Hopefully some of these maples come online soon, because I think we could use them. I don't think we need these chestnut trees. Pine resin. Are we out of pine resin? We straight up are out of pine resin. So yeah, since the tapper is in range of this, I think we really need to make everything that tapper is in range of. Nope, we still need it cut. What am I doing? Unmark it for planting. Let's see, tapper can reach right here. And I do want to replace it with maples and or pines. Okay, so yeah, we want the rest of that marked for cutting. That's a maple. That's fine. Did I unmark that one for planting? It should be marked for planting, but it's a maple. All right. We just now have to wait for the scaffolding to be built. It's going to take a lot of planks, which we don't have a lot of planks. Keep an eye on our science. I want to end exactly at 100,000. Because I want to. Don't judge me. All right. Our spatter dock keeping up. It's looking pretty steady. The spatter dock is, which is good. We don't have much potatoes built up here, but that's fine because we have all of them grilled. That just means we haven't been at max capacity for very long. And or we're not producing a whole lot more than we're eating. All right, so some of this definitely needs... We do need to figure out where the other pillars are going to go. I think we keep this layer here as is with the maples and chestnuts and stuff and the tapper. I don't think we'll need multiple layers for that. If we end up needing more, the tapper can reach all the way over here. So that is an option as well. I don't know if we're going to need a whole lot more explosives unless we... Well, actually, we will for hollowing this out when it's finally time. And it's not going to be time until we have more planks and... Yeah, mainly more planks built up in order to support everything. Because we're going to need some platforms to go down to the ground. And then on the top of those platforms, I'm thinking we'll have these metal platforms. So they can support a huge area. They should be able to support 3 from around it. Because these will be supporting the terrain. And then the terrain can support 4 out. So we're going to have these peppered throughout the inside of the cave, supporting the roof. That will be the plan. Yeah, I think we're mostly waiting on planks. That's just the name of the game at the moment. That's fine. I don't think we're going to go higher up here, and this is the last of our scaffolding, so we can delete these ladders. That'll give us a couple more planks to work with. Anything else? Can we delete some of this scaffolding? I do want to keep this in place in case, because we might build this up some more. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of unused planks. Do they ever use this path? Probably not with that zip line there. I don't see any reason why they would ever cross this on foot. Yeah. So that's some recoverable planks. We still need the ladder there to get to the crops. They can't reach that right there. Oh, now they should be able to reach it all. So that's, we found some planks. I could turn on more lumber mills since we need the planks, but I don't know if we're producing enough trees to even keep up with that demand. I guess we can give it a try. Won't hurt anything, really. All right. Unpause it. I find it funny that there's one thing of wheat here that often doesn't get planted. Or it does, but it's often unplanted. Like, they just get too busy for it. But whatever. Yeah, this could be bots so that they work overnight. That might help. Yeah, catalyst. And the thing we're waiting on for the catalyst is the maple syrup. So it doesn't even make sense to have this other one running, to be honest. Because we just don't have the maple syrup for it. Stranded. Where did we get stranded? Ah. Well, if I delete that, you can get free. Right? Can't you? Yeah. Be free. We just need to rebuild that part. Oh no, it's going to strand a whole bunch more of these. We got to pause building this stuff. Just focus on this, or else all these, when this gets complete, any beaver bots that were over here would get stranded. Perfect. Now we can unpause these. What else do we have paused up there? Oh, we paused the path. I didn't even know that was possible. That's funny. We got materials here that they're not picking up. They're just lacking a path, I believe. Once the scaffolding was done, they would have a path. But to help them build the scaffolding, if we just make a path over there, it will help. Because there's a decent amount of planks and such there. So that definitely would help. Since a lot of this is built, we can start going up a level on some of this. We don't want to go above anything that's not built over here. But we can start putting the pillars here. Let's see, actually. Dragging and dropping is going to be much easier for this. think we can actually go this way, can't we? I don't see any reason we can't. How's our reservoir doing? It is full, finally. Good. Everything's working as intended. Logs are still an issue. Planks are still an issue. Punch cards are going down. Catalysts are going down. Chestnuts are going down a little bit. All right, so some of these are done, so we can plant pines there. I think over here I wanted it to be a maple. These can be maple. Okay. Funny that tree isn't cut down yet. It would be if this was a beaver bot. At least one of the lumberjacks in all the areas should be bots. Aha! These trees would also get cut down faster if they were marked for cutting. So would these. And those. And that one. So yeah, if at least one beaver in each area, each lumberjack is a bot, then that would help make sure that they are working through the night still. I don't even know where the lumberjacks that cut these ones down come from. Right here, it would look like. There we go. Okay, how's this all looking? Scaffolding's not there yet. Let's get in there, though. Let's see, where would the next piece of scaffolding or next pillar have to be? If I peel back the layers, it should let me see. It's right here on this corner, isn't it? Yep. Which is right there. Ah, I see. So we need to delete that. And then I guess we could put a platform on top of it. We probably didn't need to delete it, I guess. It's not, it just means water won't transfer through this pillar since there's not a, since it's not a continuous dirt. Continuous terrain. That's probably a better way to put it. Okay. That's not at the right level. There we go. What do you mean you can't? Oh, I see what you mean. That platform just needs to be built. Actually, this dirt needs to be built. Make that a high priority. How are we doing on? We're doing okay. I was checking if we needed to put in another. Actually, we already have 4 bots working there. We needed another dirt excavator, I guess. But we don't. We're just doing okay. No problem. I did notice that we can eke out just a little bit more growing if we put terrain here. And it looks like we can delete this path that's not being used, and that gets us access to some more irrigated land as well. Ah, the zip line's in the way of some of this, actually. We can get a couple more squares, though, still. Okay, so these ones are pointless because it actually won't add anything. I can't tell if this one is irrigated or not. We'll try it, see if it gets planted. It did. It just needs the tiniest bit of green on it to count as irrigated, so... Oh, I really thought more of these would have green over here. Guess not. I think those two are. I don't think this one is, though. Let's see if they plant it. They won't plant it if it can't grow there. They're not planting it. And I didn't think they would. Okay. Okay, this might be a bit overkill. But if I do that, we could put 2 more trees here. 4 more trees. And if I delete this lumberjack, instead put a terrain block there, there's even more trees that can grow there. Finding these little tiny spots probably isn't the most efficient use of my time. But, hey, we can put more trees there. That's all that matters, right? We'll make one of these a bot. And I bet it's one of these haulers that isn't fully... Yep. 10 beavers might be better than 4 beaver bots for that. Okay, we don't want to go above 10,000. I mean 100,000 science. We don't want to go above that. So let's keep an eye on that. We're getting close. Remember, those beaver bots work day and night. All right, where's the next pillar? So I'm going to need to be clearing planting area. Oh, is it? It's underneath a pine tree. Okay. That's not clear planting area, though. That's why that didn't work. Right there. We can mark that for cutting, basically. In fact, it might be easiest to mark it for cutting first and then clear the planting area. Oh, it's right underneath extract, which I don't think we even need over here anymore. I'll just delete it. Trying to keep an eye on that science. We're really close. We're there. 100K more science than necessary. Is it necessary? By definition, no. But I wanted to do it. All right. Now that scaffolding's in place, we can expand a little bit more of this. That should be just fine there. Let's get some stuff going around this pillar. Not all the scaffolding's in place, though. Wonder why that one's not. It doesn't look like there's a path. We missed the path on that one. There we go. That's fixed. Our bots are slowly, pretty soon here, they're going to end up being a little less efficient unless we can get our catalyst production up. Speaking of trying to... Oh, God. Darn it. At least there was a place that we already can reach. I was trying to delete just the paths, and I got the levee below it. Building that's got to be #1 priority right now. Although we're in a drought, so the water's not going to get any higher. So maybe it wasn't #1 priority. But what I was going to say is, this is as high as it can be. All of this scaffolding is done. So that's a lot of materials. That's just waiting for us there. Yeah. Quite a bit of materials there, actually. So hopefully they'll pick them up. They've already picked up quite a bit of the materials, it looks like. But just to drive home that's what they should be focusing on. We'll do that. Did any fall inside? No. Oh, what is that there? It's a lot of materials. It's not a huge amount. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see that because I'd have to build scaffolding over. Would it be worth it? Maybe. It might be. Okay, fine. All right, so I think it's probably, do I put, now here's the question, do I put a irrigation area here, knowing full well I'll need more above it, but just to get some trees going right now? I'm not sure, because we do have 500 planks and 600 logs. We might be starting to stabilize a little bit. So it might work to get this up to the next level before we put an irrigation pond. Because we're not out of logs right now, somehow. Which is a exciting fact. Let's go below the scaffolding so that I'm not trying to duck underneath things when I don't need to be. Let's go even further. There. This can be a... Oh, is that too high? That's too high. So that means we're too high on that one. We're going to have to dynamite that. Oops. Well, stuff happens. Not the end of the world there, by any stretch of the imagination. I think we can even just do a lot of that for sure. Just don't know which direction the arrow's pointing there. I don't think we need this pathing anymore. I say as they're using it, but the scaffolding, I guess that must be a shorter path, and that makes sense. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, they do have a path up here. Don't they? What am I missing? No, don't think. Ah, this isn't connected anymore, so maybe that was why. Now can they use that again? Now they can use that again. Okay. Now this path is not useful. Okay. Okay, I was wondering why these trees weren't harvested, but they are chestnut trees. They're not supposed to be harvested. So I'm glad they weren't. You know, all of those that we just planted as pines, we got to make sure to unmark for cutting. There we go. That's going to be cut right now. We can unmark it. Plant it as a pine. Are there any other things that were cut that can be replaced with, like, maples? Yes, just a few. There we go. Excellent. Okay. We are actually starting to bounce back a little bit on the log front, which is definitely exciting. Means all of the micromanaging of trying to build every last tree that we could muster is finally helping. I'm gonna wait on that. I don't know why I'm trying to duck underneath the scaffolding again. It's just not efficient. Well, looks like we can go over here some more. We are going to need to figure out where some of those other pillars are supposed to be. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, so right here. Okay, so we can just chop down that tree and unmark it for planting. Boom. Okay. And right here. And unmark it for planting. As soon as I pick up the log. Okay. Then I think, yeah, we didn't want to go any closer to the water, but actually we can. We really could go closer to that water. In fact, I think I'm going to work on that. Well, now I'd have to tunnel. Yeah. How would be the best way to get there? Any way I cut it, it's not going to be easy. We'd have to destroy some trees. I think we just leave that little bit. We can go above it, but we won't go below. Unless it's proven that for some reason we need to. So that means we need to find out where our pillars should be just the old-fashioned way. Actually, I think it would have been right here, but I don't want it right there. We'll make this one a little bit shorter, I guess. And right there. Then we also want to unmark those for planting. These seem unnaturally close. Yeah, why is there a pillar there? That doesn't need to be a pillar. Why are you a pillar? I'm just dumb. That doesn't need to be a pillar. Easiest way to fix this would be to just blow up the whole thing. Not the just the whole pillar, not the whole level or anything. Let me clarify that fact. In case y'all was wondering. I want that one. That's not supposed to be pillared. But some of these spots are supposed to be pillars. Zoom down some layers because it's hard to see what's going on. Below that there was nothing really, so 1, 2, 2. I think it needs a double dynamite. Just set that at high priority and get ready to blow it up. And we blow it up. And I do believe, yes, a maple tree goes there. We clear it for cutting. It's not already. It is already. Okay. Let's see where this tapper shack can go. I'm going to mark a couple of these other ones. Take them off of planting. Because apparently we need more maple trees. So be it. Maple trees do take a while to mature. And that's just an unfortunate thing we have to deal with. Like, there's nothing really to do about that. We're trying to fix a problem right now. It's just going to take a little while. Why is there not a tree there at all? I don't know. There is now. Also, what is up with that hole? I don't know. It's fixed now. Very shortly, anyway. And an oak. And marked for cutting. Forced to reach there? It can. I think it can reach all of that, can't it? No, it can't. No, it can't reach any of that, in fact. Probably could before this was there. I spoke too soon. I spoke about us catching up on planks and logs. Okay, planks we're catching up on. Logs, not so much. Maybe we pause a few of these again. And we can put that hauling post back to bots. There we go. So yeah, we're still low on logs. We are catching up on planks, though. We're also not using very many planks right now, which we shouldn't be. Honestly. Look at what level this is. There. Stupid leg. Okay, this level can be the same. I think we can build this stuff now. Not a problem. We're missing a pillar that's supposed to be like right on top of that. Yeah, it's supposed to be right here. So, yeah, I'm aware that water won't transfer through that, but that's okay. And really, do we need that storage of dynamite there? No, not anymore. Let's get rid of that. I'm not even sure we need that ladder technically. Well, we need some way to get down there for now. We might figure out a zip line path here at some point. Maybe something similar to what we're doing over here and just like leave the two squares open. Somewhere like right here. That might work out. Yeah, this will be maples. It's everything. Everything is maples right now. Oh, I messed up. One of these is supposed to be pillar. That's this one right here. Okay. Sweet. Ah, they can't build that one until they build that one for support, so that didn't work. Makes complete sense. Okay. This one should be facing the other way, though. There we go. We are going to run into issues with the zip lines that we already had in place before. That really should have been flipped. Just flip that one. Okay. That's a forester. Just a lot of micromanaging these arrows to make sure that it gets built properly. Without, because if you do it wrong, that they wait for something to be built before it that isn't supported. And that does not work out. Do we have? Are we far enough over for that? Ah, this is as far as we can go with this scaffolding. So let's actually not do that pillar. Huh. I thought that could reach a little bit further, but that's a wide enough tree farm, to be honest. Yeah, because I'd like to do it all from the top bottom. So that'll be the end of our tree farm right there. And in order to demolish this one without climbing above, we'll just make a what's the word? A tunnel. But they can't reach that, can they? Nope. Same situation then. We need a tunnel there. Go below where we can see the trees. I can't do that even, actually. So just build a tunnel here. And if we delete that platform, it will delete the dirt above it. Same there, same there. Tapper Shack. Can reach all the way over here. We need more maples. I'm looking at my catalyst. It's not looking pretty. It's not doing it's not doing enough for us right now. Make sure we don't have those maples marked for cutting. Oh, we replanted an oak there, it looked like. Huh. We were just too slow on that, I guess. More pines. On market for cutting. Oh. Just want to look at this layer. Is there anything cut here? Not yet. Okay. Okay. We're getting really close to being done with this level. So this is as far as we're able to go out here. And then we'll be done with this level. And everybody will celebrate and it'll be happy times for all. Okay, we are missing a pillar here. Let's zoom down. Ah, yes. We had to figure out this section by ourselves. Actually, right here. Say figure it out by ourselves, but really we figured out all of this by ourselves, right? But what I meant was we couldn't just rely on the stuff below it. We had to map it out again ourselves. Hopefully that makes sense. I think it does. Is this too far back? Can they not reach over here? Okay, this is too far back. Where is this at? Okay, so they can build right up to here. So this pillar is unnecessary, actually. They just can't build there. They were able to build that one because of this guy. I don't want to do any more scaffolding. So where this scaffolding can reach is the end of it. And I might even just cut it right here, just so we have a nice even end with a pillar. I think I'm going to do that. So if we just blow up this and that, we're just going to end it right on this level of pillars. So yeah, let's go ahead and find where that last pillar is supposed to be. Can we? I bet we can't even zoom down. Oh, I thought I was holding on to this. Yeah, we can't. So it looks like it's supposed to be actually right where this is, but I think this is going to be too far because then it can't reach all the way across that, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that would work, but I think it's going to cause issues here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that will be built. Yeah, it would leave a gap right there if we built it here. Oh, well, that might actually work out. And only because this was a shorter than normal distance there? No, it wasn't. Why is that going to work out? Here's where it really should go. Well, I don't think it's important for that one to be able to transfer water. So we'll do that. Let's see where that is. Okay, so this will be the end. With that in mind, we don't need this pillar even. Oh, I had already started to destroy that pillar. But to have it nice and neat, I'm going to actually demolish this too. And just to make it look nice and neat, I'm going to demolish that. Because even though they can technically reach there, it's only because of this. So I'm going to have where these pillars are be the end of the layers. We needed to pick some place to stop, and I didn't want to stop with it just kind of jaggedy. So that's where they stop. Whoa. I have not checked how long this episode's getting. This episode's getting pretty long. Whoa. Okay, we are missing a pillar. Apparently. Yeah, we're missing. Let's see. Yeah. Ah, because it's this one that would normally do that one. So how can we make that one reach? So this was never supposed to be a pillar. But this one right here was. Do I make this one a pillar? Just for aesthetics? I think so. I think I'll let them collect the maple syrup from that one first. We are out of extract. And we're out of maple syrup. Punch cards surprisingly are holding on. These are drained. We don't need those at all anymore. We're not connected to anything. Yeah, we don't need any of that. The pathing might have been nice, or I don't know if needed, but nice to have. I think it was needed. Well, with all the zip lines, needed's a strong word for any piece of pathing like that. Okay. They did collect that maple. Because it goes right there. So cut that one. And unmark it for planting. And then build terrain blocks there. To be able to build that from above, we actually do need to blow up that spot, though. I'm going to wrap this up. I just want to complete this level and make it square. And then next episode, we will go ahead and build the irrigation pond. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. There's just a few holes to fill here. Now that we have the scaffolding and all the edges in place, this next level should go a lot smoother. I hope. There's also potential that it doesn't, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. So let's just make all of these a little taller. If I do these ones, they should all then be the same height. I think. That one's missing it. And apparently that one. You really don't want it built there. They look all the same height, don't they? Nope, they don't. How about now? Holy guacamole, how hard is it to make pillars the same height, huh? I think some of these went higher. Yep, some of these definitely went higher. Whatever. We know we're making another layer, and we know that layer is going to start at right there. So, should be good to go. We just need, yeah, that should almost work. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's for next episode. And then maybe at that layer, we'll put the irrigation pond. We might put a temporary, I think I'm going to put a temporary pond on this level actually, before I start building the layer above it. Then we can delete it and use that area for next time. The problem is, I think we actually got too ambitious, because if we're having the foresters way over here, they only go to this pillar. Now remember, we have other foresters on this other level, so now we're going to need 2 foresters. But if this is the edge, it'll be easy to connect a zip line to this side. In fact, that'll be part of what we're going to do next time, is make zip lines on this side of it, I think. And we'll just build that sky high. And then decide if we need anything more. I don't think we will. Right now, we're just trying to get enough maple syrup, pine resin, and just logs in general, logs and planks, to supply our bots. And then, once things stabilize, we'll dig this out. All right, thank you guys for joining me. Leave a like if you liked it, and if you watched the whole video without liking it, you confused me. But please leave a comment on what you didn't like that made you still watch the whole video. And if you did like stuff and have any suggestions, feel free to comment as well. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time.